welcome to Daily Dictation. This is a video meant to help you practice your English skills. The topic that we're studying is the impact of climate change in the Arctic, and it is for high intermediate English speakers. For this video, you're really going to practice your writing skills and your listening skills. To do this, you are going to listen to and write down 5 sentences that I will read. When you write down these sentences, you'll be focusing on making sure you're spelling everything accurately, applying accurate capitalization, grammar, and punctuation. And so watching these daily dictation videos is really going to help you improve your writing skills as you listen. So let's get into it. For daily dictation, we have videos from Monday to Friday. There's new sentences each weekday, new topics each week. There are 2 English levels offered, and a vocabulary list and practice worksheets available. The vocabulary list that we're going to be studying this week comes at the end of the video, and there will be more information about how to access the worksheets. Now let's talk about daily dictation. The instructions. You will need a blank piece of paper and a pencil. If you have a document that you can type in, that's fine as well. 5 sentences will be read. Each sentence will be read 3 times and 1 more time at the end. You have to write down each sentence. You will use your listening skills. Try your best to apply the correct spelling, punctuation, and capitalization. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so you can see numbers 1 through 5 here. Each number represents a different sentence that will be read. So we're going to start with sentence number 1. Number 1. Rising greenhouse gases accelerates the thawing of permafrost. Rising greenhouse gases accelerates the thawing of permafrost. Rising greenhouse gases accelerates the thawing of permafrost. Number 2. When methane is released into the atmosphere, it creates a feedback loop that intensifies climate change. When methane is released into the atmosphere, it creates a feedback loop that intensifies climate change. When methane is released into the atmosphere, it creates a feedback loop that intensifies climate change. Number 3. Scientists are concerned that Arctic amplification caused by increasing greenhouse gases will lead to irreversible damage to the tundra. Scientists are concerned that Arctic amplification caused by increasing greenhouse gases will lead to irreversible damage to the tundra. Scientists are concerned that Arctic amplification caused by increasing greenhouse gases will lead to irreversible damage to the tundra. Number 4. Arctic amplification contributes to global warming and alters the region's albedo. Arctic amplification contributes to global warming and alters the region's albedo. Arctic amplification contributes to global warming and alters the region's albedo. Number 5. As the permafrost continues to thaw, it endangers Arctic species and may lead to extinction. As the permafrost continues to thaw, it endangers Arctic species and may lead to extinction. As the permafrost continues to thaw, it endangers Arctic species and may lead to extinction. Now I'll read each sentence one more time, starting with sentence number 1. Rising greenhouse gases accelerates the thawing of permafrost. Number 2. When methane is released into the atmosphere, it creates a feedback loop that intensifies climate change. Number 3. Scientists are concerned that Arctic amplification caused by increasing greenhouse gases will lead to irreversible damage to the tundra. Number 4. Arctic amplification contributes to global warming and alters the region's albedo. Number 5. As the permafrost continues to thaw, it endangers Arctic species and may lead to extinction. All right, I'm sure everybody did a really great job with their listening and their spelling. We're going to move on. If you found that it was a little bit too fast, you can listen again and adjust the playback speed. You can do that and select a slower speed. If you want, you can also check the description for specific timestamps. This will tell you when each sentence has been read in the video, so you can go back to that time and re-listen to a sentence if you want to hear it again. But if you think that you got everything correct, let's have a look. So we're going to check each answer, starting with number 1. Rising greenhouse gases accelerates the thawing of permafrost. Number 2. When methane is released into the atmosphere, it creates a feedback loop that intensifies climate change. Number 3. Scientists are concerned that Arctic amplification caused by increasing greenhouse gases will lead to irreversible damage to the tundra. Number 4. Arctic amplification contributes to global warming and alters the region's albedo. Number 5. As the permafrost continues to thaw, it endangers Arctic species and may lead to extinction. All right, so how did we do? What words did we do really well on, and what words do we still need practice on? For greenhouse gases, we had this 2 times, and in some regions, gases is spelled with 3 S's in total. So Gasses. However, in my region, it's preferred with 1 S, so that is the way that I spell it here. But in other regions, 2 S's are used. So if you put 2 S's here, then that's fine too. Greenhouse is 1 word, even though green is 1 word and house is another. In this case, in this context, when we talk about greenhouse gases or greenhouse where plants grow, then it's 1 thing. So we use that as a single word to explain 1 thing. Usually, if it's 1 thing, it's 1 word. Down here, you see apostrophe S because albedo is something that is possessed by the region. So that's why we're going to put apostrophe S to indicate a possessive there. Here we say endanger instead of danger because endanger, just like this is the verb. So it endangers Arctic species in this clause here. It is the subject, endangers is the verb, and Arctic species is the object of the sentence, and it is in simple present. So we have an S on the end because it is singular, third person. And here we have as starting. So this indicates that this is a dependent clause, and we've started with the dependent clause. So after the dependent clause is finished, we're going to put a comma before the independent clause starts. So some of these words might be unfamiliar to you. You might have trouble knowing how to use them in sentences, knowing how to spell them. So here's a list of words that you should review and practice. We have permafrost, extinction, albedo, methane, tundra, Arctic amplification, greenhouse gases, feedback loop, albedo. Oh, albedo is on there 2 times. So for these ones, really learn how to spell them, become very comfortable with how to use them in sentences, the different word forms that they come in, to know their different functions in different sentences as well. And if you go to the description, you can find a link to a worksheet. That's going to give you all of these words, and it's going to give you the definitions for each word. And then there's going to be example sentences and lots of activities such as fill in the blank, a quiz, a reading passage, short answer questions, and then an essay question. All of these are really going to push you to learn these words and practice them, become familiar with them through all of those exercises. So keep that in mind and feel free to check out the description for that. Otherwise, we are all finished for today. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.